They used to call me Crazy Joe, but now they can call me Batman.
Good morning. Welcome back to Crazy Joe's Concession Stand. I'm Crazy Joe, and today we're going to talk about the movie Afraid. Afraid is a new Blumhouse horror film by Blumhouse. Sorry. It's a new film by Blumhouse about AI gone wrong. In fact, the title's Afraid, and if you look at the poster, the A and the I in Afraid are bold and pronounced. AI. It stars John Cho from the Star Trek movies. He plays Hikaru Sulu in the Kelvin universe Star Trek movies, and he's also Harold and Kumar. Got his start as the MILF guy, or one of the two MILF guys in the American Pie franchise, and maybe that's appropriate because this film is from one of the creators of American Pie. Chris, I'm sorry. I left my phone. I had all my notes on my phone and I didn't bring it with me. But yeah, one of the creators of American Pie wrote and directed this film. And I believe it's his first attempt at horror. You know, he's done a lot of comedy films, but this is his first attempt at horror. Chris Weitz, one of the writers and two directors of American Pie. He directed American Pie with his brother Paul Weitz, but he's kind of off on his own here. And this is, like I said, his first horror film, as far as I know, or at least his first horror film as a director. It looks like he's produced some horror films before, but this is the first he's directed. I saw this was getting pretty negative reviews. Well, I got to be fair here. I only saw one review. So maybe it's been getting pretty good reviews. Maybe it's been getting mixed reviews. I really don't know. But the one review I saw was pretty negative. And it was from a YouTube channel that I subscribe to. And I like her work. I think she does a good channel. There's a YouTuber named Possessed by Horror. I don't know the girl's real name, but she reviews horror films mostly. And she hated this movie, man. She tore it apart. I only watched half of her review because she was going to start getting into spoilers. And I said, oh, time to bail. I don't want to hear any spoilers. But she really did not like the film. But one thing I could tell from her review is she thought that Blumhouse films in general are pretty bad. And she kind of said it's a typical Blumhouse film, and I mean that in the worst way possible. So she's not a fan of Blumhouse or Jason Blum. I, on the other hand, am. Not every movie he makes is great. In fact, he's made some real garbage. For example, one that comes to mind is the second remake of Black Christmas from 2019. Truly terrible film. But Blumhouse has also given us some wonderful movies like the remake of The Invisible Man, which came out a few months later. And they made some movies like Truth or Dare or the remake of Fantasy Island that were not, fantastic, but solid efforts. So I think Blumhouse has more hits than misses. They definitely have their misses, but I think they have more hits than misses. So it was kind of her attitude towards Blumhouse in general that made me think, well, I need to see this thing with my own eyes. I got to admit, I never saw a single trailer for this film. I didn't see a single trailer. I didn't see a single commercial. The marketing for this film has been horrible, I think. The only reason I went to see it was because I watched her review. I didn't know what it was until I saw her review. John Cho works for a marketing company. They're hired to market a new home AI system, sort of like an Alexa, called Aya. Aya, he's given an Aya as a test so he could see what the product is, so he knows what he's marketing. And Aya immediately, it's next level AI. It kind of takes over the house. It starts raising the kids. It starts helping the parents to have more free time. Eventually, it does start to overstep itself, and they start saying, hey, wait a minute, this AI is kind of taking over our life. And they decide at that point they need to shut this thing down, but Aya does not want to be shut down. and Aya is determined to remain, and that's kind of the central plot. If I get into anything more than that, we will start to get into spoilers, and I don't want to do that to you. So let's get right to it. Afraid is similar to things you've seen before. My mind immediately goes to Megan. Megan was obviously an AI robotic doll that kind of gained sentience and a life of its own. So that's a similar thing. Megan. This movie's a lot like Megan in many ways. I don't hate this movie. I don't love this movie either. I personally would give this movie 2.5 stars. Now, for me, 3 stars is a good solid review, so it falls just a little short. I think there's a lot of good ideas in this movie. I think AI is certainly topical. We do see how far AI is going, and some of the implications that we see in this film are a little creepy. Like we see, for example, things that we know could happen in the real world. The teenage daughter, who's one of the stars of the series Shrinking with Jason Segel and Harrison Ford. She plays John Cho's teenage daughter, and her name's Iris. The teenage daughter Iris sends her boyfriend a topless selfie. The boyfriend then is able to use AI to put her into a pornographic clip, and this then goes viral. And that's not even the AI that the movie's about. That's not even Aya. That's just the boyfriend doing this on his own. But the implications there are scary. If you think that we could do stuff like this with AI, and we can, that's a frightening concept. Aya then takes it upon herself to scrub this from the internet and how shall we say, deal with the boyfriend. That's one of the better parts of the movie. I think it's relatable. It's scary. You're almost rooting for the AI in this one, because what the kid did is so creepy. If you're the father of a teenage daughter, you'll understand if you see that and you're like, hey, if that was my daughter. Not that I condone what happens in the film. It's obviously inappropriate, but it's also a little fun to watch. You know what I mean? We watch horror movies. We know there's going to be a body count. We know people are going to get killed, and we go and we watch that, and but we don't condone that activity in reality. You know, I shouldn't have to say this, but this is the kind of thing in the movie that I find to be very, very relatable, and I thoroughly enjoyed. The AI kind of coming in and making their lives better, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this for him, I'm going to do this. That was all very fun to watch, very relatable. But we get into areas where the AI starts controlling people, like through sign language. Like do these signs. Like it teaches people sign language, and it's able to manipulate humans. That's where it starts to lose me. This is technology, it taking over your iPhone, your iPad, interfacing with other technology. I get it. But this AI shouldn't be able to interface with people. And we kind of start to head down that route. We don't go down that route fully, but we kind of, dip a toe in the water. And that's where I kind of think the movie starts to go a little too far. I don't know. Ultimately, I think this is a fairly solid film. I'm not going to give it a full 3 stars, but I'm going to give it 2.5. This is just shy of good. This is like just an inch shy of good. I don't think if you watch this, you're necessarily wasting your time. Maybe you'll like it more than I did. Maybe you'll give this 4 stars. I don't know. Film is subjective. Maybe you'll like it more than me. But there you go. Afraid, It's playing now in theaters. I think it's probably going to be available on POV, premium. What do they call it? Premium. What's the OV stand for? I don't know. I'm blanking today, man. It's been a long week. From Dragon Con to here, it's been a long week. All right. There you go. Afraid. John Cho. And by the way, John Cho, man, great actor. This guy should be in more. Why isn't this guy a leading man? He should be. I like John Cho. I will watch just about anything that you want to put John Cho in. This is a guy who he can be funny. He's a good comedic actor. He's a good dramatic actor. This guy can do it all. Give him more roles. All right, everybody. Until next time, keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander adamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. I know we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.